Most people spend their entire life chasing one moment, a wedding day, a perfect partner, a future where everything finally makes sense. And you've probably felt it too, that quiet pressure in the background of your life. That voice saying, you need to settle down. You need to find someone. You need to find someone. You need to start a family before it's too late. So you start believing it. You start thinking that your life is incomplete until someone else walks into it. And without realizing it, you slowly begin to shrink your world. You stop asking big questions. You stop chasing uncomfortable dreams. You stop exploring who you really are. Because in your mind, life hasn't started yet. It will start time later, after marriage, after kids, after everything finally falls into place. But here's the truth. No one tells you. Life doesn't wait for that moment. It's happening right now, and every day you spend waiting is a day you're not really living. There was a time in your life when you had dreams, not the safe kind, not the socially acceptable kind, the real ones, the ones that made your heart race a little, the ones that felt uncertain, but exciting. Maybe you wanted to build something, create something, travel somewhere, become someone completely different from who you are now. But slowly, those dreams started fading, not because you failed, but because you replaced them. You replaced them with something easier, something more predictable, a timeline that everyone around you seemed to follow. Study, work, marriage, kids. And suddenly, your entire future became a checklist. And you told yourself this is enough, but deep down, something never felt right. Because a part of you knew you weren't meant to live a life that small. You start comparing yourself to others. Friends getting married, family asking questions, social media showing you perfect relationships, smiling couples, happy families. And it creates this invisible pressure, like you're running out of time, like you're falling behind. So you rush, not because you're ready, but because you're afraid of being alone, afraid of being judged, afraid of missing out. And that fear starts making your decisions for you. You stop choosing what feels true and start choosing what feels safe, what feels accepted, what feels expected. And that's where everything slowly begins to go wrong, because marriage was never supposed to be your entire purpose. It was never meant to carry the weight of your happiness. It was never designed to fix the emptiness you feel inside. But when you make it your only goal, that's exactly what you expect it to do. You expect one person to give your life meaning. You expect one moment to complete your story. And that expectation is where disappointment begins. Because no matter how good something is, it can never replace a life you didn't build for yourself. Imagine this, 5, 10 years pass. You get everything you once dreamed about. You're married, you have a family. From the outside, everything looks perfect. People look at your life and think, they made it. But inside, there's a quiet feeling you can't ignore, a question that keeps coming back. Is this really it? Not because your life is bad, not because your partner is wrong, but because you skipped something important. You skipped yourself. You never took the time to understand who you are, what you want, what excites you, what challenges you. You built a life around others without ever building one for yourself. And now you feel stuck, not physically, but mentally, emotionally. You feel like there's more, but you don't know where to start anymore. And that's the hardest part, realizing that the life you rushed into is the one you don't fully connect with. But here's where everything can change, because the problem isn't marriage. The problem isn't making it your entire identity. There's nothing wrong with wanting love, with wanting connection, with wanting a family. That's human, that's beautiful, but it becomes dangerous when it's the only thing you live for, because then you stop growing, you stop evolving, you stop becoming someone you're proud of. And instead, you wait. You wait for someone else to bring meaning into your life, but meaning doesn't come from outside. It's built from within. Think about it. What kind of life are you creating right now? Not in the future, not when things settle down, but today. Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you pushing yourself? Or are you just passing time, waiting for the next phase to begin? Because one day, you'll look back at this exact moment, and you'll either feel proud or you'll feel regret. And regret doesn't come from failure. It comes from not trying, from not exploring, from not becoming who you were capable of becoming. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need a perfect plan. But you do need to start living like your life matters now, not later, not someday. Now, because the truth is, the life you build on your own is the foundation of every relationship you'll ever have. If you're empty alone, you'll feel empty with someone too. If you're lost alone, You'll feel lost in a relationship too, but if you build something strong within yourself, then love becomes something different. It's no longer something you need. It's something you choose, and that changes everything. Start small. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. Just change your direction. Instead of asking, when will I get married? Ask, what kind of person am I becoming? Instead of chasing validation, chase growth. Instead of following the crowd, start listening to yourself, because your life is too valuable to be reduced to one goal, too meaningful to be defined by one moment, too powerful to be lived on someone else's timeline. There's a version of you that is stronger, smarter, more confident, more alive, but that version doesn't appear by accident. It's built through choices, through discomfort, through taking risks when it would be easier to stay the same. And most people avoid that because it's hard, because it's uncertain, because it doesn't come with guarantees. So they choose the safer path, the predictable path. The path that looks right but doesn't feel right, and they stay there for years, sometimes forever. But you don't have to. You can choose differently. You can decide that your life is bigger than expectations, bigger than timelines, bigger than what you've been told to chase. You can decide that you're not going to wait for life to start. You're going to start living it right now, because at the end of the day, marriage is not the destination. It's a part of the journey, and if you treat it like the whole journey, you'll always feel like something is missing. The truth is simple. No one is coming to give your life meaning. No one is coming to build your future for you. That responsibility is yours. And that's not something to fear. It's something to take control of. So build something, a skill, a passion, a mindset, a life that excites you, even when no one else is around. Because the right person will never be your entire world. 'Cause they'll be a part of the world you've already created. And when that happens, love doesn't complete you. It complements you. And one day you'll look back at your life, not just your wedding day, not just your relationships, but everything. The risks you took, the growth you experienced, the person you became, and you'll realize that life was never meant to be just one thing. It was meant to be explored, experienced, built, step by step, choice by choice, moment by moment. So don't reduce your life to just one goal. Don't wait for permission to start living. Don't convince yourself that your story begins later, because it doesn't. It begins now. And the question is, what are you going to do with it?